all in the family. They call it community fraud because it's not racist, or they call it the traveling con man fraud group. This is the important part. What's in a name? Stereotypes can often impede a fraud investigation, and certain factors associated with community fraud, such as names or locations, should be considered only in combination with other evidence. However, clear patterns emerge in communities known for this form of deception. Certain nomadic groups, interrelated families, often share common surnames, and while and often repeatedly settle in trailer parks in known locations in the United States. Known hotspots include North Augusta, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Murphy Village, and other large cities including Chicago, Los Angeles, Memphis, Brooklyn, New York have been known to host enclaves. Locations may change over time, but the patterns remain the same. They all got the same tricks they use. They figure out something. If it works, they keep doing it. If it doesn't work, they reevaluate. How do we get caught? How do we not get caught again? Their big thing was insurance, life insurance. We'll get into that at a different time, maybe. And this is the part. They live in trailer parks. Their fake scams are painting houses or paving driveways. Usually, that's just like what they do for fun. But here's the example they gave. Riley. They say it might be spelled differently a lot of times. Just so you believe me that they're actually real and that they're how they live in America and what to look for. They're not like when I say gypsy, people get really confused, I think.
They trust you, and to be trusted by one of these members of Mafia Village is very high. They're really, really good people, and probably that's one of our faults, is that most travelers, they want the large things in life and can't afford them, and they live above their means. Let me show you some new houses.
The one that I know of that I think is after me, maybe possibly, lives in a $600,000 house and literally has loans on all his vehicles, all his farming equipment, and all his future. I don't know. It's just a very, very big coincidence. If I started talking about these people and then I get arrested by wondering that. That's kind of crazy.
Just one year community. When they marry, that's part of the dowry. That a house will be built for the girl. Or that's how it used to be. Here's what I think about arranged marriages. I don't think the two people.
You look at this 15-year-old and her 11-month-old. They get married right after they get their periods, like 12 or under. I think sometimes as low as 8. Those beauty pageants that little girls are in, I think that's them.
Should be forced to marry each other.
Actually, like the number one child pageant star right now is an Irish traveler.
I think if they want to arrange a marriage, I think they should make for certain that the young people are satisfied and they want to do it, because if they don't, it will never last. They took their children. And see, that's what made me mad. The lady I take care of, they took 2 of her grandchildren. Neither one of them was in any way, shape, or form engaged or otherwise. So whoever told this story about whoever,
So you know what they say arranged marriages? This is where news speak and legalese comes in. Arranged marriages, in some circumstances, for a house, do you hear that? They're selling girls. They sell girls.
We're getting people that shouldn't have been gotten. They raise their children from the time before they can walk to be like little girls. They go to school to walk.
It's sad to say, but there were a lot of brilliant young minds that wasn't put to use by virtue of them being girls.
The men, of course, they work the road. They seal coat.
These are the scammer ones. There's different families.
Introducing the latest agricultural breakthrough developed jointly.
In the southernmost states of North America, known globally as the Deep South, lives one of Irish history's forgotten generations. In the late 1830s, a small number of close-knit Irish traveller families left Ireland, headed
They went to Washington, D.C. and opened a library.
for America.
That's a horse stable. They trade horses. They do horses.
Almost 2 centuries on, their direct descendants have built on their legacy, thrived, and fast become one of the wealthiest and most enigmatic minorities in the whole of the US.
Listen,
Become one of the wealthiest and most enigmatic minorities
crime pays, man, especially sex trafficking and pedophilia.
in the whole of the US.
You wouldn't believe it. Everything is imported Italian marble. We have gold fixtures in the bathroom. Where does this money come from?
Today, the community lives sheltered, secretive lives in which centuries-old traveller traditions
Epstein's dad, or Epstein's pilot, was one of these guys. He worked in the military and was a drug investigator in Dallas during the 70s and 80s.
are all very much alive.
The young girls want to wear dresses and show off their body, and they're not married yet, and so they're out to get a husband. They want to show their body.
Basically, it's kind of like you ain't making money.
This is half the reason why everybody hates them, actually. And that's it's because they marry child brides like this. That's why people hate them, and they have to hide.
You're nobody, you know what I'm saying? That's it. That's money's everything.
Nobody knows their internal operations. They don't know their philosophy. They don't know what runs the whole organization.
I made the trip across the Atlantic to meet.
See what happens here. I don't think he ever meets up with them. Let's look through their houses.
Seeing colossal mansions, luxury cars, lush manicured gardens. The rumours it seemed were true.